Welcome to the crypto segment of the Highs and Lows podcast. This is our episode 11, and my name is Solomon Gift, your host, and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Ochoma Miracle.
Hi guys, it's quite interesting to be back here again.
Yeah, it's extremely interesting, and especially when you look at the fact that Bitcoin is currently above $100,000.
Yeah.
And we did touch about $105,000 before we started seeing like minor correction. What do you think, looking at Bitcoin's price action within the past few weeks?
Well, it's been something very spectacular because we got as much as 95k the last time, and we had a bit of a retrace.
Yeah.
Well, now we're above that. I call it like a sentimental resistance.
Yeah, and you know the crazy thing now is we got to 99.8, almost 100k. Then we saw that retracement to about almost 90k. People started calling 70-something-k.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a sentimental resistance because 100k is like a nice round figure.
Yeah.
So, but now that at least we're above it, I mean, currently it's around 102.
Yeah.
So, but my main interest is on alts. And I think we saw quite a bit of alt rally when Bitcoin made that little bit of retrace.
We have seen altcoin rally. We saw altcoin rally this week. I mean, that's one of the major things that we saw happening this week. We saw OG altcoins, the likes of Dash,
XRP.
The XRP is OG, but they've been on the limelight consistently for a while. The whole SEC case, and also seeing XRP rally all the way to about $2.5. Then we saw a hype in the ecosystem. Someone even turned 20 SRP to 10,000 SRP trading meme coins
within the ecosystem.
Yeah, within the SRP ecosystem. So we saw that hype from TikTok. You get we're crazy about SRP. In fact, some influencers were saying SRP is going to $200,000. Pretty insane. Like I don't know where they got the numbers from, but it was extremely unrealistic. But I mean, we're in a bull market, so we expect those things. So SRP led the charge for like OG projects, like altcoins, and we saw like Dash, ZEC, Monero, and so many others. Even Neo.
Yeah.
Neo started moving. Ethereum Classic. So many SVG did over 200%. I think for me the most outstanding and unexpected was when I saw Tron.
Yes,
Tron did like 100%, and we are talking of adding an extra $18 billion to the market cap in less than 24 hours. Yeah, for me, I feel that was really, really, really insane.
For me, when I was looking at some of the tokens that ran, some of them had like maybe a little bit of reason to run. Maybe they've been tweeting, they've been active in the space, right?
Yeah.
But then I saw some alts that actually made moves. These alts,
there was nothing backing it.
Like DDoS, Disbalancer's last tweet was probably sometime in 2022, but then Disbalancer ran more than 3x.
Yeah, more than 300%.
Yes. Then there is a Placent.
Yeah, some very, very old projects from the last bull run.
Placent also did around 100% or so, right? And then there are like a few other coins that I feel some exchanges
decided to
pump some of these coins, because
that's
both Disbalancer and Placent, they are both on gate.io, and you're seeing infusion of trading volumes of like $60,000 coming from where? From who? These guys, they've not been active for more than 2-3 years. All of a sudden their tokens is going 200%, 300%, but then to me it only re-emphasizes one thing: the bull is back, right? And we know that during the bull market we have high volatilities, like really high volatilities.
It's not a bull market if you don't see unexpected and insane pumps.
Yes,
you get. And also it's not a bull market if you don't see accelerated euphoria, hype, scams,
illogical things happening.
Very, very illogical. For example, SRP to $200,000, one SRP. You get beaten Bitcoin. And people actually believe that people are running with it. You can see people are now pumping capital into the ecosystem,
yes.
trying to trade memes there. You get so, and no doubt most of these persons will get bumped. Just this morning as we're getting here, someone bought a token that you were showing me.
Yeah,
Bought the top with $30,000.
Yes, we saw the Hack 2 girl.
Yeah,
the clip. That girl has all of a sudden become a celebrity. And
yes,
we have this thing nowadays that when it comes to celebrities, they cash out on their fans. We saw it with Nigerian celebrities. We've seen it with American celebrities. So this
leveraging
girl,
on meme coins.
yes, this girl now all of a sudden she just became a celebrity. She has her own fan base and launches a token that got as high as $500 million market cap. It's
insane.
Crazy. And then they made more than $1 million in fees, just collecting fees.
You know, CoffeeZilla
Yeah,
and jumped on their spaces, and he
it
was
was
really,
what that attacked them.
he
Actually,
was really attacking them, trying to find out what's up. And the responses they were giving were not really
you
correlating.
notice one thing that she did not speak.
Yeah, she didn't say,
much
she didn't
because
say
she
anything.
had no idea those things are being around.
It's even possible that they could have used her. Maybe she's a victim of this whole thing. Maybe they'll give her a certain amount.
Yeah.
Because she won't know how the whole sniping works.
Yeah.
You get. She won't know the
you know
insider
what is
stuff, how people leverage
$1
on
million
it.
in fees.
In fees,
Just
yes,
fees.
yes,
They are not
yes.
talking about, and their tokenomics was really bad. Like really, they are about 3%.
I think the
or so.
worst part of the whole thing was there was huge inflow of liquidity by volume into the project, and I feel the market cap would have been sustained. Even if it dumped, you have seen maybe a fair, reasonable 30-40% dump, then you see the next wave up. But the issue now is, while that token was pumping, the snipers that got in extremely early, they were aggressively selling. To make $1 million from fees in less than 24 hours, that will tell you the level of liquidity by volume that
You're saying
project
24
got.
hours. People were saying like in like 20-40 minutes. Now
That tells you the level of buy volume.
the level of buy volume is high because don't forget that their tokenomics was really bad. So it was a very small amount of tokens that was actually sold to individuals. So there was this rush to get in as much as possible. So what they were doing, the guys that had the project, they were busy selling. Like they sold a shit ton of their own tokens, and they also made money from fees. Because if you listen to CoffeeZilla, he was like, who took the $1 million in fees? And they could not like have like a direct answer to that. And then he was asking, I think it was about 13 or 15% allocation, from the core wallet that they sold that amount. Like, where is the money? Right, so it gives you an idea of anything that is influencer backed that they are really pushing.
Yes.
Most of the time, those influencers have little to no knowledge about these things.
Yeah, obviously.
Right. There's a group of guys that want to really make a killing out of. We saw it with what happened with Davido's coin, right?
True.
We saw it too with that of Sabino's.
Most times the influencers they don't really know what is happening behind the scene.
They just told them, you can make $200,000, you can make $1 million, and then
but they don't know that the persons that actually have knowledge about that. And another funny thing also too about the whole influencer stuff is most times they don't also understand that even when they might be innocently doing it, you have people on chain that have bots listening, that will take advantage of that thing you're about to do, and it will backfire
on you because we've seen,
and most times those bots will even make more money, far more money than you.
We've seen projects where projects just launch right off pump.fun and the bots killed the project
exactly
because they sniped it to death. We've seen it happened. I think the last one that happened to me was the Jengas. That's Gay Avengers. During that whole Pride Month thing, that was around June, July. The project had like really good memes because of the whole Pride Month thing, but it died right out of the bat because the moment they distributed the pump.fun link, people started sniping it, and the moment it got to the decks, it was red candle after red candle.
Because they will dump. So that I think that's why people need to understand, even the influencers, they need to understand why it is very important to consult from people that actually in this ecosystem, that this is what
actually
we
means
do.
well.
The people that actually in this ecosystem that this is what we do every day to prevent those things from happening.
Yes.
Because even if you have the best intention, if you don't plan properly and you don't deploy the right tactics, snipers, bolts, they can kill your project even with insane liquidity.
Of course,
They can kill the project before it even
if
gets
you see
anywhere.
all the projects that was launched by most Nigerian, if not all Nigerian celebrities, all of them are dead. Even the
Yes,
ones that
yes.
launched NFTs on Binance Smart Chain, dead. You get there was no long-term vision in mind. It was just okay. It's a bull market. It's Binance.
And the launch was not properly executed.
It is a short-term mindset, because if you have a long-term mindset, you would ask very serious questions, right? Even when the project looks like it's dying, you find ways to revive it. But
Yes,
it's a short-term mindset. Guy, I made $100,000, 150K, maybe 200. I think Davido, was it above 400K or there about that? He made from
Based on tracking the early wallets that were selling.
wallets, and I think he bought about $2,000.
Allegedly.
$2,000, and then you're collecting $400,000. It's crazy money. This was before his wedding, right?
Yeah.
So, and then that hype will Davido, and then you now have, I think the next was Sabinos before Brain Jota, and then some other these content creators wanted to now jump in on the whole thing. So it's just like a subtle warning to people out there that your favorite celebrity is telling you, they are going to have a coin, blah blah blah. You should be careful, because most of the times they don't know what they are even saying.
They don't know what they're about to jump into.
If you listen to the video's space, because then he now had a space with the guys at Parcel and some other Drift and all that, the Solana Echo guys. When you listen to the way he was talking, you will know that this person don't even know what in they talk. Like he's not he has zero ideas. He just came on that space as hype
to encourage
to
more
like,
buying, and people started buying. Hopefully, jumped on,
because even when he entered that
9M.
space, that space, I was like, okay, this should actually do mad numbers from
it should be like an opportunity to like
because
get
he's
it to like 100M.
he's basically doxing himself, like coming out. You can hear his someone can come out and say, oh, my Twitter was hacked, or
so I have no ties with the project,
or my intern is fired, he was not supposed to post it. You can come out and say such stuff. But for you to come on a live space, people are hearing you on your account and speak on that token.
It's not like you're endorsing it. You're very much
you've doxed yourself. You know what's going on. And then right after speaking on that thing, projects
tanked, which was not supposed to be actually.
It's not, because most of the guys that even have short-term mindset, maybe the white guys, the foreign guys, when they come on spaces like this to talk about it, project moon crazy and sustains for maybe a day or 2 days after, right? For example, let's say Andrew Tate comes on and start talking about the daddy token. It's going to moon, because he's on space, he's talking about it, and then after that space, he's going to keep on tweeting about it.
At least hold the support for like a day or so.
Yes, things are going to still be rosy. Maybe after maybe a day or 2 days, you see people retrace, but it was not the case. But that's just to let people know that okay, your favorite influencers, they are going to dump on you. It's a zero-sum game. You're buying, someone is selling to you, you're selling, someone is buying from you. The money does not appear from heaven, it's user generated, right?
So another very heated topic, something that we've been seeing, I think that's even what started this whole bull market with memes. And there was a misconception then. It was AI memes. I think that was like in late September or October, early October. We saw like AI memes, the likes of Goat, Goat Maximus, Medusa. Like Medusa is nowhere to be found now, and so many others. And so many others. Now, this has gotten to another level where we are now seeing some of these AIs with more reasonable utility. You get not just random tweets. You get, for example, like this other AI XBT.
Yes, I think that's one of the most famous ones.
That's currently one of the most famous. We have seen it do certain tweets, make certain calls, do certain low-key analysis on certain projects. You get, give you some breakdown randomly, projects on different ecosystem. You get, I've seen it drop tweets on Thai.
Yes,
I've seen it drop tweets on Doge.
I think
Yes,
recently
I've seen it
created
even
its own
drop
coins.
tweets on Metis. Yes, just brief analysis, the ones that are undervalued, you get the ones that it feels should run very well. You get, yeah, and it has also started creating its own coin, at least for now. It has created just one chaos. So talking about like these agents, what do you think?
So everything in crypto is a startup. So people just have to have that in mind.
Yeah.
It's a startup. So look at it like you want to invest in a company or in a product. What are the stuff that you're looking at for? And you know that once a certain product is successful, it's going to have copies. Now those copies are going to claim to do the same thing or even better than the original or the trailblazer. So people have to be careful. Most of what we are seeing now as AIs is just vaporware. Just remember when this whole AI trend first came in, when we had on Web 2, we had ChatGPT. Then we now started having copies of that on the blockchain for the likes of Layer AI. Then
Yes.
it came up as it came with another name then before it rebranded. We started having like GPT, so many GPT on chain, but now they're all dead.
At least 90%,
They are all dead.
95%.
So most of these AI agents, people have to understand this is like the trend of AI agents, right? Most of them are created by individuals like me and you, right? Most of them are going to die off. Most of them are not even autonomous. They are still, controlled by somebody at the background, right? So if you're investing in any AI agent, in fact, for me, I would advise people to invest in the infrastructure that lets people create these agents. It's much more sustainable, right?
Yeah.
Than the agents themselves. Because now we are seeing the likes of, let's say, distilled AI that allows people to be able to create your own agent and your own agents to be able to have wallets and control its wallet. We are beginning to see the likes of virtuals also help you launch
something similar.
Yes, launch AI agents. We are seeing agents.land help you to. Now we're having AI launch pads.
Agents launchpad, basically.
Launchpads that allow you launch agents and create tokens. So it's still going to be like
we have even gotten to the point where people now create tokens via tweets.
Yes, so
prompt the AI to create.
So now we are. It's more like this is ICO 3.0 we're going into now, because this is you having launch pads for you to create an AI that has a token. So you're tokenizing that AI. Now we're having AIs that are interacting with other AIs.
Yes.
So because we saw this AI XBT interact with another AI on Sol to mint a token. Sorry, on Base, to mint a token on Base. So we're getting to that point where AIs are talking to themselves, creating value interactions,
and
or whatever.
And soon they'll start trading too.
Yes.
In fact, we have already started trading right now.
Yes, they are minting tokens. They are the ones that is being built by distilled AI or undistilled AI. That's Max. I was listening to their spaces the other day. So they were like, Max has its own wallet that it controls. They are going to build out prediction markets where Max can engage in prediction market and stake monies too, in order to make monies for itself via analyzing the market. There are so many other stuff that they talked about too, and I've forgotten. There's this one you shared with me. Is it on Base? I've forgotten the name too. Those guys too, they're also looking at bettings, also prediction markets.
Yeah, I think it's on AO.
No, this one is on Base.
The other one on Base.
Yeah, I've forgotten the name. That's EMP.
EMP. Yeah, that's also a protocol.
Yes, that lets you create AI agents. So for me, people should focus more on these infrastructures that let you create these tokens. They are much more valuable for me in the long term, right, than the agent, because I can go and create, let's say, a funny Nigerian agent that interact with people in Pidgin and interpret whatever happens in Nigeria.
I wonder why no one has done that yet.
It can be done, right? And then try to tokenize it and get people to anything that happens in Nigeria is going to explain it to you in Pidgin.
But just like you said, most of these stuffs are not really AI agents, because if you remember last year, people were automating Twitter accounts that were doing certain tasks on Twitter.
Yeah.
There was one roast something. If you call it, or if someone drops something with a hashtag, to come and yap that person.
Going to roast you, yes.
Yes. There was another one again, tip also. But that's to tell you that even most of these stuffs we're seeing now, chances are most of them are not even really AI agents.
Right.
They're just automated bots.
Yes,
running
but then
on Twitter.
Going through, that's why I said it's better for you to invest in the infrastructure itself, because some of this infrastructure, they tell you that you can make your agent and train your agent with whatever you want to. Your agent might not have the access to go on the internet and query some stuff and get back. No, it's only on what you train it with. For example, I did not meet my great grandfather. So imagine my great grandfather had access to an AI agent. He had an AI agent, and he documented all his life, all the books he read, who his father was, his grandfather was, who his grandfather married, all his experiences. He got
assets.
It all, yes, assets, and documented it, trained an AI on it. And then when my grandfather came, he also passed the information to that AI. So that AI would have my family
history, everything. The full
anything
database.
You query it about the family, it knows, it's going to tell you about it, right? But if you ask it something about the Nigerian government, it doesn't have that data.
Know.
Right? So you can train your AI with your own material. So an AI can only be on, let's say, quantum mechanics, or can only be on your church, talking about events that is happening in your church. So then there are also AIs that they can self-learn.
Yeah.
So they have autonomy.
But then they have boundaries.
Yes, you can create some boundaries for them, but they have autonomy to go and learn what they want to learn. So there are also AIs that they have the data that you use in training them doesn't get exposed. Because, for example, if you train an AI about your family history, the diseases in your family and all that stuff, so yes, some other person cannot get access to that
data
stuff. So for me, there are a whole lot of hypes out there. People are creating anything, guy. If you go to most of these platforms like Visual, you're going to see a whole lot of things people have created.
Yeah, there's a lot. But then again, another very striking part is I don't think most of these AI agents, I love adding the agents, the AI agents, most of them are not supposed to have tokens. I think that's one part that people have not really talked about.
The thing is,
most of them don't
it's not
need
even
tokens.
peculiar to AI agent. It's peculiar to crypto generally.
Yeah,
there
projects,
are so many dApps. Yes, they're not supposed to have tokens. You know, what's the token for?
Exactly, but then again, when they look at it, that's where they tend to make the most money from.
Yes, from
that's where they
selling
tend
tokens
to
and all that
leverage on hypes. Because selling tokens is almost like you're collecting money in exchange for like shares. You get things like that.
Yeah.
So that's why most of them they do it. If not, at least out of all the AI agents there, I can say is barely 1% right now that do need tokens.
Yes,
most don't.
The thing here is like you can create an agent that let's say you put out very good analysis. Let's use Nigeria for example. You create an agent that you fed it with the history of Nigeria from the times of the maybe slave trade before Nigeria was an entity.
Yeah.
You trained it with all their data, you trained it with the past president, you've trained it with every single thing about Nigeria and its constitution and whatever. Then whenever a recent activity happens in Nigeria, it learns, and then it can be able to give an unbiased opinion as to this thing is illegal from
the constitution.
This thing should not be done like this, it should be done like this, right? That agent is going to be very useful to a whole lot of persons.
True.
Right? And at the same time now, that agent doesn't necessarily need a token.
It doesn't actually.
But then you that owned the AI, you can find ways to monetize that AI or to monetize your services.
And another funny thing again is that agents can actually indulge in trading activities without needing a token.
Yes, it can. And also at the same time, it can people can pay per session for like consultations with AI. Right?
Yes.
In Naira or whatever crypto you want to like have maybe conversation with the AI, you can have a monthly newsletter that people subscribe to. That the AI breaks down everything that has happened in Nigeria and how it can solve it. You can have a community around that AI, right? So there are so many things you can do without the need for
a token.
A token generally. You get what? It's now we're in the bull market. So,
so
people are going to want to raise money.
Yeah,
people are not looking at a revenue model. They are more like, let's grab as much as possible now and then run with it. Later we'll figure it out, and they don't always figure it out later. The project is always abandoned.
Because there's nothing juicy again afterwards.
Of course, now
they get lazy.
Imagine you launch a token now, in the next 2 hours you have 10 million USDT in your phantom wallet. Tell me you want to continue that project.
They'll go invest in something else. So another major thing that most persons are unaware of, people have this mindset and this conception that pump.fun, anything out of pump.fun is a meme coin.
That's not true.
But in this bull market now, we've seen the opposite, which is pump.fun is actually being used to launch utility projects.
It's a token minting platform.
So people need to really understand that most of the tokens coming out from pump.fun, they are not memes. We do have some solid utility projects like the DeSci, even the Quantum,
even the agents
and all of that. They're all from pump.fun, but they are obviously not meme coins. So I think people need to clear that misconception. Then talking about airdrops, a whole lot has happened this week relating to airdrops. A lot. Just yesterday we saw Magic Eden.
I've not even checked my location.
The me token, they did an airdrop. Overall, it was not so good. Overall, it wasn't so good. So few persons were rewarded reasonably with the me tokens. But most persons, even OGs, they didn't really get something meaningful.
The airdrop has been lingering for too long.
Now, why I would say they didn't get anything meaningful is because we started using Magic Eden 2021, right? That's when we started using Magic Eden. So if you even go and check, personally, if you go and check, you find out that the value of what you got is approximately $300. You get. This is for a wallet that you
has been there.
Yes, you use it to trade, even if you're not trading NFTs every week or every month. But on average, you would say you've done reasonable volume there, and you've interacted with multiple NFTs.
If you remember, Magic Eden was one of the first NFT platforms, because we had Solanat, we had Digital Eyes, then Magic Eden. Before what's the name of this one? These other ones that now came out. So Magic Eden airdrop was supposed to be what?
Yes, obviously
something really strong. But anyway,
but it was actually a mess. It was disappointing, very disappointing. So to the Magic Eden team, you guys could have done better after lingering this stuff for so long. And the next reasonable airdrop we saw yesterday, it wasn't expected then, was M3.
That's Meteora.
So one of the founders of
Meteora was rebranded from, what's the name of this other?
Mercurial. It was rebranded from Mercurial.
But they've not given us our Mercurial token.
No, they've not done. They'll do an airdrop, but they have not done that yet. I think we should expect that next year. But they actually launched a platform. Launched a platform, and the token of the platform M3. I've not really gone deep into the platform, but the concept is more about something relating to meme coins. Most of them dump. So
it's more like they want to start encouraging people to stake their meme coins instead of dumping it, so that they can share in the fees generated from trading those meme coins. That's just the idea. But I'm not. Well, that could work to a very good degree, but
it's experimental.
That's why I tell people crypto is experimental.
It's just pure experiment and speculation.
But me, I'm not a huge fan of people staking in the bull market, no matter what the APY is. At least have an idea of the unbonding period of time. For example, so if you're going to, first, meme coins are highly volatile.
Extremely. Right? Especially in a bull market.
Yes. And meme coins. Now, generally in the bull market, tokens are volatile. Meme coins are 2 times, 3 times more volatile in the bull market. So imagine you're going to stake your meme coin and the unlocking period is 14 days. Guy, you're going to miss the ship.
Where in the bull market, 1 hour is like 10 days.
You're going to miss it when you want to stick that your meme coin and that pumped crazy. You're going to now have to wait. You know, go like yourself. So just have an idea, or if you want to even get some, don't stake all. At least stake small. Right, use it to test how deep the water is, and just know that all these things are just basically experiments. They could fail at any time.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But then again, the Meteora team, they did something people didn't expect.
Yes.
They did airdrop the M3 tokens to some wallet address.
I have not checked mine because I know I provided some liquidity for Meteora.
Yeah, you should check. You should check because the reward, depending on how much liquidity you provided and how often you use it. Yeah, you'll be getting between $300 to as much as $5,000 depending, but on average I would say between $300 to like $700. So is to check. For those watching, if you know you've used Meteora, you can also check. You might get the M3 and airdrop. Now mind you, this is not actually their token though. It's not their default token. So next is some airdrops that we're bullish on that we're yet to see. Pump.fun, the co-founder has announced that there'll be an airdrop. We're bullish on it. Sonic, Phantom is rebranding to Sonic.
I thought Phantom wanted to rebrand to Phantom Opera.
No. They are rebranding to Sonic. That should be happening any moment from now, maybe in a few days or weeks.
Yeah, I know we lost money on Phantom.
A lot.
On pump.finance.
A lot. Most of the algo projects.
Those
lots of them.
What's the name of reserve currencies? Olympus DAO Fox and all that stuff.
Wallet Connect just did their airdrop. So if you know you've used
my Wallet Connect, I didn't throw that their airdrop.
I actually did. I got the airdrop, but I just connected a few of my wallets, just two.
I didn't do that.
Just 2 wallets.
I didn't trust that stuff.
Yeah, so that's another thing. You should be very careful of most new projects doing airdrop in a bull market because most of them are just trying to trick you to connect your wallet, and you most likely
drain
lose your funds because everyone needs access to your wallet in the bull market. So you can check if you got the WCT token, that's the ticker for Wallet Connect airdrop. Then updates on some of our calls, some of the projects we're looking at, some of the ecosystems we've talked about the most. Chromia has finally performed.
Yeah, the Asgard upgrade
over 150%.
But for me, I still expect Chromia.
No, it's still it's still extremely undervalued.
Yeah.
Should be around $1 right now.
$1 or worst case scenario now, just give us 80 cents.
80 cents is even still poor. It should be at least $1 billion FDV, which puts it at slightly below $1.
Their native what's it called? Their native was a trading for native CHR is going live today on MX. Today is
you can withdraw.
You can withdraw
from native CHR.
So by the time they also start, implementing native CHR on bigger exchanges like maybe Binance, more people are going to flock into the ecosystem because now nothing is really holding them back. Oracle extension is live. Exchanges are integrating native CHR, so meaning the chain is stable enough. So between now and the end of the month, we should see maybe a color pool just launched their wallet, which is quite interesting because they have an ongoing task for color pool token airdrop. So maybe this month we should see $1 at least. We should see $1 from.
Then lastly, about one of the most exciting things that happened in this month, especially relating to airdrop, not just airdrop, but that's like one of the most exciting things in the crypto ecosystem this month was the Hyperliquid airdrop. So Hyperliquid airdrop is currently the biggest airdrop in the history of cryptocurrencies, which has made people that were doubting to actually believe that airdrop is still alive and airdrop still pays very well, and you just need to focus on the right project. So Hyperliquid was able to make people as much as $5 million from little inputs, and as low as $8,000 you get based on a trading volume of around $200 or $250 and racking up a few points you get within a very short period of time by just clicking a few things. So for most persons that still doubt airdrop still pays, and no doubt there are still so many other airdrops that have paid this fourth quarter. But like I said, in the history of cryptocurrencies, Hyperliquid is actually the biggest airdrop that we've seen so far, and it didn't stress people. but it took a while, took more than a year, but it did not stress people. And obviously people still lost money. For those that did not claim their airdrop tokens, people lost $2 million, $500,000. Unrealistic, like unrealized gains, not like their money, but what they did not claim, so they lost it. So if you're doubting airdrops still pays very well, and there will still be lots of airdrops within the next 6 months that will still pay in the crypto space very well. So if you don't want to miss out on most of this, you should join our Telegram channel where we talk about airdrops, and also try to join our Twitter spaces that holds weekly, where we also discuss what is happening in the market and give insights.
I think the big takeaway from this Hyperliquid airdrop is people burden themselves with a whole lot of airdrop and airdrop tasks. When you do those tasks, check up on those projects.
Yeah, because there
Right.
are people that lost money because they did not
Yes,
claim.
because they did not claim. And these days now we're getting into the bull market. Platforms might not give you up to a week to claim, right? Because if you don't claim it, they have 2 or 3 choices. 1, redistribute the unclaimed one. 2, burn it. Or 3, add it to their treasury. So they would even be more happy that you did not
Most
claim.
persons
So
did not claim.
some person might give you 48 hours to claim, because the argument might be that these drops or airdrops were given to active members. So within 48 hours, as an active member, you're supposed to know that this airdrop has been done or it's claimable. But then, there's this argument too in the community as to why don't you just airdrop it to their wallet? Because gone are the days where you just wake up and you're finding rope in your your phantom wallet, or
Yes.
you're finding cattle in your wallet. These days they dropped this thing 3 days ago, and then you're looking at $2,000, $3,000 just sitting in your wallet because you didn't even remember. These days they want you to go to the site and actively claim.
Yes.
So people just have to, as you're farming, they check, because it can be any time, so that you don't lose out on stuff.
I think the catch there is they just want people to stay active.
Yes,
I think
but
that's the
then
most important
but
thing.
then don't forget that this is crypto.
A whole lot happening at the
like
same time. But
hundreds of chains.
when you think about it again, for someone that is actively farming or participating in a particular ecosystem, and they end up giving an airdrop, and it's a good airdrop, and you hear the hype, why would you not go and check?
But most people, they these are our spaces.
Unless
quite
you were
funny.
cut off from the internet for
Well,
some
some
days
people, they might
or
not be
weeks.
cut off, but something much more interesting must have caught their eye, because this farming stuff. There's a time, for example, let's say people farming tap swap. They farmed tap swap, and there is nothing else to farm again. So they'll be like, okay, tap swap will soon launch. They've left it, and they are now farming something else that is really actively engaging. And 3 days, 4 days, they've not checked on tap swap. Right, so it might be that period of time that TapSwap might have just released one small
And they miss out.
stuff, and they be like, oh, because Hyperliquid guy, there are screenshots of people saying, there's one I saw. The guy was like, this person, I play poker with him, and the guy got about $3 million. Guy, $3 million is gone, because there's no
didn't
way
claim.
for you to claim it again. It has probably gone back to the treasury.
But then again,
for-
that was free money. But
Guy, free money. Wait,
That-
now
that thought
make
of-
you lose that thought of you that,
That
you could
thought
have
of
been
you
$3
could have-
million richer this afternoon.
but you just did not
You
claim
lost
it.
it out by maybe 2 hours or 3 hours. It's not free money again. You get it's not. It's
Can you
only
just
now,
claim the
now
reward?
it's free regret, because you've lost money. Yes.
yeah. So for those that are not following us on our social media handles, make sure you follow us on YouTube. Make sure you try to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and most importantly, join the Telegram community. The links to all of these socials are actually under the description. You can see it on any of our social media platforms, so you can join. And don't forget, we do this every week. And most importantly, we have a live session that happens on Telegram and also on Twitter weekly. So if you want to understand everything happening in the crypto space, you want to take advantage, make sure you position yourself and you join these our social media platforms. Thanks guys, and that's the end of today's episode. See you at the other end.